Welcome to ARC 313, Architecture in Watercolor. This is video P1, which the P is standing for perspective. So this is obviously a watercolor class, but some of my students asked that we get a little refresher on perspective since it becomes a big part of sketching and drawing in architecture and then painting it. And this is not going to be an exhaustive calculation-based set of perspective lessons. This is more about how do you improve your sketching in a very informal and quick sort of way. The idea is that now if you need a really accurate perspective drawing and you need accurate shadows and you need to know exactly that you're 23.6 feet above the first floor and you're looking southeast 6 degrees, that kind of stuff you need to set up in a 3D model in the computer. And this is more about, hey, I'm sketching from life and I want to improve the quality of my perspectives. Or I'm going to construct something that's in my head and I'm just going to use a simple 1 or 2 point perspective method. So we're going to go over 3 methods here. I just mentioned them. We're going to do one where we're drawing from life just using our pencil as a measuring device, or pen as the case may be. And then we're going to do a 1 point perspective lesson for primarily interior work, and then a 2 point perspective in 2D for primarily exterior work. That doesn't mean that you can't do an interior perspective with two vanishing points, and you can't do an exterior with 1 vanishing point, but the idea is that we're doing primarily 1 point for inside and 2 point for outside. And the first one is something that all you need is a piece of paper and your pencil. The other ones I'm going to do in a very sketchy way, but you could feel free to use a straight edge or a measuring device if you want, like a ruler or something. But I don't. I just do it all by eye, because it's about doing stuff quickly and dirty. The other thing is there's a couple of pointers for perspective that you should be aware of. Keep all your vertical lines vertical in the drawing. So assuming you're not working on something pyramidal or some sort of Frank Gehry architecture, if the walls are plumb, the floors are horizontal, keep all your vertical lines vertical and parallel to each other. The other thing is use only the vanishing points of the process that we're using. So in the case of 1 point perspective, you should only have 1 vanishing point. This will become a little bit clearer when we start talking about that visually. Same thing with 2 point, only have those 2 vanishing points, don't have things vanishing up into the sky and that sort of thing. It gets a little bit confusing that way. Keep your horizon line horizontal. So, if your horizon line is like this, then the whole perspective is going to look like it's leaning over. Now you might be drawing something from Zaha Hadid and it is actually doing that, in which case that's something different. But if your floors are level and your ceilings are level and your walls are plumb, then keep your verticals vertical and your horizontals horizontal. The corner nearest you, if you're drawing from outside, should be at least a 90-degree angle, a right angle. If you get too acute, if the angle gets too short, it's like looking at something through a fisheye lens. Like in the old analog film camera days, 16 millimeter fisheye lens, where the perspective is just really, getting crazy. So try and keep that closest corner to you at least 90 degrees, and that will allow you to see it as the eye sees it. And parallel lines other than the vertical should converge towards a common vanishing point. So don't have, lines converging in all different directions. Okay, that's it for the introduction. Now we're going to go to video P2 and look at drawing with your pencil.